here at beautiful, I won't even tell you where we are, but I'd like to pay my respect to the traditional custodians, to the spirit of place, for all of the thousands upon thousands of years of caretaking that's occurred here, so that we can enjoy beautiful spaces on the earth like this. Because those people, including all the animals, have been in harmony with these spaces for so long, and I'm ever grateful. I'm here with a beautiful friend today, and we're going to have a chat about our knowing in nature, yes, through the way that we understand it. Go for it.
Oh yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Sandra Morales, and I'm really blessed to be here and in this amazing place, and to respect the spirit of the land, and to share and have a yarn with Rachel, and to share with you, which is, I think, very important.
So where do you come from, Sandra?
I'm Colombian. Yes, I was born in Colombia, and when I was walking down to this amazing waterfall, I was sharing with you that it's beautiful that when we walk to the land, we feel at home, and we share that connection with the earth.
So some of this like subtropical landscape that we're in today, Sandra was saying earlier that it's like some of the areas from where you come from in Colombia. Can you share a little bit about, I guess, the Indigenous peoples of your landscape? Yeah?
Yes. So actually we have so many Indigenous tribes living still in the country, and depending on the region, I just can't talk only about the tribes that I've been visiting over the years. So we have the great Amazon, our jungle, sacred jungle. But within the Amazon, and very near the Amazon, we have different regions that are still jungle. But because of the conflict, so many people cannot get there. So I had in the Amazon River, there is a beautiful tribe called Ticuna. And the beauty about that is Ticuna belongs to the whole Amazon. As you know, the Amazon is shared by so many countries, Colombia, Peru, and Brazil. And then we have the north part of Colombia, which is the coast of Colombia, and then we have the Tairona people. And the Tairona people, we have Kogis, Wiwas, and all the Tairona tribes. So they live in the coast of the country. But also we have so many tribes around the country.
Yeah. What's something that through, I know there's struggles all over the planet with interruptions to people's connection to the earth, and my assumption is the story is pretty much the same wherever you go. So nobody has escaped, I guess, industrialization of a planet, which when we have that running with our addiction to technology and this modern way of life, it interrupts the balance, and it also interrupts the people that are maintaining that balance. So I guess what's something from where you've grown up that you've witnessed, or messages that are coming from the caretakers in your areas?
Yeah, so like 3 years ago we did an amazing journey to visit the Kogis, and I would like to recommend a beautiful documentary that will teach us about this tribe, and it's a Luna. So if you want to share a Luna, yeah, and know a little bit about an incredible culture that is still alive, and the traditions are there. And so we went there and we sat with the mammals. And the message of the mammals is that we really need to listen. And even though that we live in the cities, most of us, or if you live in the countryside, is that connection of listening. And then the balance, to restore the balance. And I guess from my time with them, they say that's something beautiful to us. In order to restore the balance of the earth and your connection with nature, you have to restore your connection to self. And it was a beautiful saying that it's live from the heart. And that heart that connects your heartbeat, and that impulse of life that connects with everything. And I remember that I came back to Australia, and having that different connection as well, my beautiful interaction with First Nations Australia. Every time that I step on the land, I know that I step on the spirit of the land, and I ask permission. And before my interaction, I was just seeing this disconnected from myself and the spirit of that connects everything. So it's walking in balance and respecting that we're sitting here together, and we're sitting with a lot of the spirit, and that permission to ask the water and to ask the rocks to hold us here and to walk in country with respect.
So for people that may not be, maybe not even ever use the word spirit, might not be part of their vocabulary, how would you translate your meaning, your awareness, your understanding when you say spirit?
I love to, when I feel the spirit, is the creation, the life itself. You know, the life flowing, the life force, the creator, that energy that sustains life, you know, and produce life. And it was beautiful to watch the documentary last night with you. And they call it a luna. Luna is the concept for the spirit for the Kogis. And it's when darkness, but there is a first thought that creates everything. And yes, it's that thing that makes your heart beat, makes your organs in your body function, and it's the energy that brings the bird to fly and connect.
That's beautiful. I guess so. Sandra has a beautiful way of expressing spirit through movement, and I'm interested in the journey that you've been on in connecting with your spirit, your life force, and the different, let's call it layers that you've worked through to arrive closer and closer to your spirit, and what that journey was like from being very popular to arriving to where you're at now.
Oh wow. I think it's a very deep journey, because I use dance as a performance tool, and I was having that conversation with you yesterday, that when I was performing, I wanted to be seen, and I wanted to be acknowledged, and very deep inside myself I wanted to be loved. And my meaning, when I start training as a dancer, when you go to the studio and you look at yourself in the mirror and you are using the technique to express yourself, that you are lost in that sense of looking at your physical body and understanding dance from your mind. You know, you need to count, you need to have numbers in yourself. And for so many years I was performing, but the way that I was performing, I was looking for something outside. And I remember my encounter with flamenco, another art form, was very different, because it's very complex, and you needed to become a musician, you needed to understand the rhythm. But I remember when I started researching about the art form and the origins of the art form, comes from a space when they couldn't communicate. They were, the gypsies traveled all the way from India to the south of Spain, and they were prohibited. They couldn't perform, they couldn't actually share the knowledge or the culture. So they came and they created this beautiful art form, and they shared stories with, you know, the elders, passing on knowledge through the dance form. And I knew it since I was dancing and feeling very empty inside. You know, it was that physical and technique in my body, but I didn't feel connected. But when I have that experience also going and share time with Indigenous tradition, with dance and music and storytelling was part of the community. It was the way actually they connect to the spirit of the place. When they needed to harvest, they used dance and they used music to connect with, you know, grandfather sun and grandmother moon. And for me, it was like I'm arriving to the space of knowing that as a dancer, I'm not dancing anymore to feel that I feel that I need to belong to a place, or I need to be accepted, or need to be admired, but from really a place of allowing the spirit to overtake my body, or to use my body as an instrument.
So when we talk about spirit and life force, so can it be that your own spirit within you fulfills you from within, and then it's not so much overtaking you, but more you're fulfilled from within, and therefore you're bringing your expression of your own spirit into the world?
That's right. I think it's a better word.
Yeah.
Use of words. Yes, it's not overtaking, because the spirit is. It's nothing else. Yes.
Yeah.
So I live, but it's allowing that spirit to manifest through you, because it is.
Yeah.
But all the layers of my mind when I was dancing, and I need to be perfect, I need to do this, and I need to be recognized, didn't allow that space from within the life force to be.
Yeah, beautiful. So what are some of the spaces that through your journey of, say, professional dancing, that you've been out in, some of the platforms that you performed in, and the journey of, for lack of better words, the ego, and then through that arriving back to your spirit?
And I guess I perform for festivals. I did a lot of collaboration, and I still do, only when I feel it's right, and I listen deeply, and it's the moment of silence. And when I was talking to you, that moment of connection to nature, and when I talk nature, this body is nature as well. So in my body, the water inside my body, I have water in my body, and the spirit it's inside of me, and the earth is flowing through me. So I have all the elements, but it's that deep listening, and I remember that it is the whole journey, not only as a dancer, and I'm talking about myself of trying to have a mascara or a persona that I was identifying myself with. And I'm taking that and be naked. And I want to share with you something that I never had an interview without makeup, for instance.
Except for today.
And so it's just getting this thing, and I am not the makeup, and I'm not the outfit, my outfit when I perform, my cumbia dress, or it's just that simplicity, and I feel free to be who I am, as without these things that you put on to actually protect something that is impossible to protect, because it's eternal and it cannot be touched.
It might get covered in some mud later.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll get unmade up. Yeah. And just feel the mineral rich nutrients of the mud. I think it's beautiful, because we've been having chats about the idea that, it's the word that's thrown around is ego, and I'll just turn this way. The idea that maybe our ego or our superficial selves, what we project into the world as who we are, and we're the only ones doing it. We can't blame anyone but ourselves for mistaking our identity, when we're the ones that are creating that identity, whether it's because of our heritage or our upbringing. And so it's a tapestry of all those things that we've been conditioned to, but it's our choice to bring that into the world. So, but when we come closer to unpacking all of that, and it can be a little bit scary, stepping into a space that hasn't had anything written onto it. That's our opportunity. It's almost like going through a labyrinth, and we eventuate to this room, And let's just say there is a desk and there's a book there, and beside it is some sort of writing device, pencil, pen, charcoal, mud, whatever, but there's nothing written. And that's for us. It's for us to write that. Understanding that there are governing laws to existence, meaning there is choices that equate to balance, or there are choices that equate to imbalance. So with that in awareness, what we choose to write ourselves as, what we choose to create ourselves as is, let's say, future ancestors, and who we feel more peaceful as a human existing on this beautiful planet. Because I recognize for myself that the more I, it's like taking off your clothing, washing your hair, brushing your hair, and just putting it gently to the side. And like you're saying, if you're standing naked before yourself, because there is no one, you can't find an equal out there. This is it, equal to ourselves. There is no equal, other than a grand planet perhaps, and we with the equals, like a sum, like 4 + 4 equals. You can say it equals 8, but there's too many elements. It's not just that. It's just mud and water and minerals and different chemical structures, different elements, different seasons, different patterns that equal the total sum of life. But within that is us experiencing life and all the other life forms, meaning animals and insects, like earth life forms, things that belong here, as we arrive to that. And that's why I'm interested in Sandra's story, because her journey with dance and being in a professional setting and even a cultural setting of expectation to be precise, and everything that you've learned and grown through for yourself to arrive to where you are and will continue to arrive to, because I guess that's your choice.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful when you were speaking about that, our choice, and it's so powerful to see that. And not only as a dancer, you mentioned I had a 15 years career in a corporate world, and I remember the day that I did listen, and I knew it was not it was a path that was not aligned with what I needed, and I decided to quit and start a journey, and it was a journey basically to layers and layers and layers of things, education, culture, and everything that was imposed to me, by society, that social construction that we have created. And I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper. And it is just this. And it is so powerful knowing that we had everything. And also seeing this where we are standing now, sitting on today. And I used to perform, that nice stages, but there is nothing more beautiful than this. And being able to dance and stepping on the ground and knowing that my step, that I'm connected to that ground, and that's my connection, moving my body. And I'm knowing that we are all dancers, because when a child is born, the child is dancing to life, through discovering life. When actually you talk, you're moving your arms and you're communicating through dancing because you're moving your body. When you are playing a guitar or when you're singing, we are all dancers, dancing to this creation, to the creator of life. And it's just stop having labels, and it's just, we are just humans. And yesterday we shared with a beautiful brother, and he has a beautiful poetry, and he is color me human, and that's the thing. I know I'm Colombian, but it's because I have that border. You know that's my country, but I belong to the earth. At the end, and when I'm here, I belong to this land because I'm walking this land with respect and love, and I have the responsibility to care for this land, and it's just stopping having that social construction and limiting my own being, because the being is whole, it's complete, it's not a division there anymore, and it's coming to that simplicity, and I love this weekend as well, because more and more I listen and go deeper and deeper. I know that I don't need that much. Everything is provided, everything is here, and that realization brings peace and brings something that goes beyond happiness. You know, that happiness, it's just really real and true to me.
I always like if we can, we have our little friend dinner one here being our mic stand today, because I forgot one of the microphones. But I always like to see it, because I'm a storyteller, or I like to tell stories, but I always like to, if we can sum it up, if we could just simplify an entire conversation or story that we've said, and if we could sum it up in just a couple of words of everything, because you have gone through the corporate world, professional performer, and you have all of those skills in your tool belt. But if you were to go through those worlds with those people, it can be slippery here, to go through those worlds and you revisited those people, in its simplicity, just say 5 words. I always do 5. What would you offer?
My offer is this is simple. It's very simple. The only thing that I did basically was to listen, like listening, because I was so cut off with the external, with everything that happens there. But I just stopped for a moment. I sat in nature. I sat down in nature and I just listened, because we all know, and I think it is for all of us, Rachel. We all know, but sometimes we don't want to listen. But there is something inside of us that always speaks to us. And it's that deep listening. Maybe it's just 2 simple words, but they're very powerful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Or maybe I'm better to express it through the movement more than my words. No words. It's just, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you for being who you are. And thank you everyone for listening. And may the beauty of this natural space reach your heart, inspire you, and may you arrive to you. Thank you.
Thank you.